we're looking at our AI tool. Jordan and I are working on helping IT Voice build out AI solution offering, our secure choice AI solution that aggregates a bunch of models. And the most complex thing for most people to think about, and you'll hear people talk about this in the media, and no one knows what it means, is tokens. And we understand those a little bit better because of this tool that we've been partnering with an organization to build out. And one of the things that we have to keep in mind are what they call credits. And what that is a normalization function. Every model, Grok, ChatGPT, Gemini, any of them, they all use tokens, but they all use them in a different way. And so they all have their own different version of how do you use tokens. And so what this tool does is it takes all those models and says, we're going to just say credits. And then you don't have to think about every individual model's use of them generally. But there are some exceptions to that. So the exception that we've come up with recently is Claude, which everyone is talking about lately in the media. It's great, but it uses a lot more tokens than other models. And so it's a more, the best way to describe it is more expensive model in terms of token usage. And so it uses more credits, which is the derivative of tokens. And so we look at our credit usage. And what we started looking at was realizing, the number of input to output credits. Like, so we put in this many credits and we get out this many credits. And I've never thought about credits and tokens and all that stuff in a margin type way. But like, if I think of it like financials, I spend this much money in a business and I get this much back out of the business. And that's the way we're thinking about it with this. And so it's just interesting to watch this happen where there's a divergence of models to tokens. We're trying to figure out why, and if there's a way to get to credit profitability or token profitability with it. Anything you want to add, Jordan, to that?
No, I think that we've got a not a solid understanding, but a general understanding that when you are submitting your prompt to the AI model, if you do a lot of text and it's going to return a lot of text, it's going to be fairly even, almost a one-to-one. If you're inputting something that is going to have to process like an image or a file, especially a super large file, you're going to input a lot of credits. And if you're not asking for it to give you, an updated version or anything like that, then you're just going to get text back, which you're going to have an unbalance there, right? So you're going to input a lot of credits and get a little out.
That was what you were saying the other day with, I think we were like, whoa, what happened here? And so like, this is a normal day. We input 12,000 and we got 4,000 back out. And so it's like input to output. I gave this employee this much stuff and they gave me this much stuff back.
Right.
But on this one, this is like last Friday, and you were saying something about one of our staff members. They had a massive PDF or something, right?
Yeah, two things. So somewhere around the 8th or 9th, we had someone playing with a workflow that it was supposed to process an Excel file in his OneDrive and then generate some email drafts based on the information that's in the Excel sheet, right? So every time it processes that Excel sheet, and it's going through like 4 different steps, so it's processing that Excel sheet 4 times. That's a lot of input,
Mm-hmm.
and creating an email draft is not much output.
Yeah, there we go. That's it. Yeah.
Right. It's just it's processing files and then giving you raw text.
Right. Right.
Same thing with the other one that we were talking about. We had somebody that had, I don't know how long it was, but it was 40, 50, 60 pages of PDF. And when he asked it the question and just attached it to the chat, said, hey, I need you to analyze this, tell me, if there's anything wrong, if I missed anything like that. It's processing through that very large file. Even though a PDF's not that big, it's a lot of text that it has to read through. So the more it has to process on the front end, that counts as input credits.
Yeah.
And then if all it says at the end is, hey, I think this is pretty solid. You might want to check this, this, and this. And it's just a little bit of text. That's not much output.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, because it's the industry term is lossy compression. So it's you give it a lot of stuff because you don't want to read all that stuff, and it gives you the Cliff Notes version of it. So that's less coming out than going in.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, it was just interesting. You said the ninth, and so then you can watch it kind of grow right here. It's like, okay, eighth, we did 25 in, 8 out, 45 in, 13 out. And then here it cranked to 72 in and 11 out. And when we were looking at it, I think you had a spreadsheet you pulled of like the data on a daily pull, but it was on the month over month. See, can I go back last month?
Yeah,
Yeah,
and you can do a custom range as well. So
yeah. So, but if I do this one, like, so last month, 186 was the input, 121 was the output. And so we were at about 65%. And then you go, let's go custom range. Let's do January. And so then we did 122 and 225. And so we're 54%. But so kind of what we're finding is there's a way to think about it in terms of budget to spend, right? And so it's like 133, 453. So we're 29% this month, and that's or the last 30 days. This month we're actually probably higher, but it's just interesting to see that. I wonder if let me go current this billing period. So that's this month.
that's
So
this month.
yeah, the 82 and 363.
Yeah, we're much lower.
Yeah, 22%, right? And so like the idea is, well, there's probably some normalized range of percentage of output to input, and then if you're using if you go under a percentage, so maybe it's like 50% and higher is a really good usage range. And then you go, okay, well, we're running 22% or 15% or something like that. And when you're that low, it's like, okay, well, maybe I'm misusing the models in some way. And that's a way for us to normalize figuring out how are you appropriately using models
Yeah.
based on budget.
Yeah, I think as you look over month, it kind of gives you a trend of how your employees are using it.
Yeah.
Right? If you're inputting a lot, you're asking it to analyze files for you, and you're not doing as much just, conversational AI, right? Where you're asking it questions and it's giving you feedback. You're asking it to process something for you. So, long term, we'll have to watch and see whether that looks like um, a efficiency gain, right? If I'm having it process a lot of stuff for me and just tell me what I need to know, that might be an efficiency thing as opposed to conversational where I don't know the answer to this and I just need you to tell me,
Mm-hmm.
right? So that there could be benefits to both, right?
Yeah. Yeah. It's
So
well, it has.
it would be more of just getting a trend of where you're at, and then when you see something outside of the norm, maybe we figure out what they did in that time period.
Right. Well, and that's what we always started looking at it was because we're looking at like here's the divergence. You can actually see it pretty clearly, right? So we go through January, February, March, everything's kind of normal, and then around April it just kind of cranks up on the divergence right through here, and that's where we started looking at it because on our end we were running out of credits, and so we're like, what? Well, what's going on there? And then we started looking at the input to output. I hadn't even thought about it in terms of like what are we doing in terms of token profitability, which is a weird way to think about it, but it is a financial metric because tokens cost a certain amount of money. Industry standard on our tool versus others is if you think of Perplexity, it's about a penny per token or per credit. They use credits also. So it's a penny per credit, and on ours we're under that by at least 30%. On the high end, so on the high end we're 30% under. It goes down lower even to where we're 40, 50, 60% under. But even so, it's still a thing that you can actually measure the financials of. So and then on average, it looks like rolling 90, we're like 50%. And so then, yeah, again, you go to this billing period and it's like, okay, 22%. Well, we just cut the profitability of our tokens in half. What did we do? And to what you just said, is the output appropriate to that, right? It might be that that is really valuable data that you got back out of it. And so then it's not as clear cut as just, okay, it's 22% on the output. And so that's not good. It could be really good data.
Yeah. But it seems clear in this one that something changed in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Give or take.
It's interesting to see.
I have a theory that it's probably that our company's default model updated to a premium model, which Claude Sonnet 4.6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which definitely, I can see that causing it. It was interesting for me to see Rick on there. For those of you who don't know Rick, he deals with a lot of construction projects. So he's not the guy I think of as like building models, but he's really smart. And so and I think he's the one who had the big PDF spreadsheet or Excel spreadsheet that he was running on that was pulling a lot of that. And so I think that was kind of where it started cranking right here.
Yeah, it was some kind of annual file that he has to submit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To the government, I think, if I'm remembering correctly. It was like state. Yeah. So it's the other thing is, like, as we've used it, it seems like they have started building more models. And so because of that, you start seeing more credit usage as people start building more things in it that are actually helpful to them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're still figuring out, getting our feet under us on what normal looks like with this stuff. But it's interesting to see that and go, oh, that's how credits and tokens work, is input to output.
Yeah. Another thing to consider as well is, you can see right there, over the last 90 days, we've had 99 active users. That means we've had 99 people engage in some kind of chat, run an app, or run a workflow, right? That's not logging in, right? So they actually engaged with an AI model in some capacity over the last 90 days. And that's just over half of our company.
Yeah.
That's just over half of our total users that are in there.
Yeah, which is, I think the partners we're working on this with, they said something similar, is like they tend to see there's a group of users who use it a lot, and then kind of you get to the long tail of people who use it less and less. So
I actually did some math the other day. So as of April 13th, in the last 30 days from April 13th, our top 10% of users had used 25% of the credits.
Okay. That's interesting.
Our top 25% of users used 91% of the credits.
Oh my gosh.
Right. So
25% used 91% of the credits.
Yeah, and if I remember correctly, we had 51 active in that time period.
Yeah.
So you're looking at, was it 13, 14?
Yeah.
Somewhere in there. 14 users used 91% of the credits. 14 out of, we'll call it 14 out of 50.
What would it be if everyone was using it? That's like, it gets kind of crazy with how many credits we would burn through.
Right. Yeah.
It's funny, the workflow. So the other thing, like apps built 33, this is 90 days. Yeah, the 90 days. 15 total workflows, 1,000 agent chats though. So the agent chats, that's where people are doing, is building agents that they can speak to. And I definitely do that a lot. Like that's my go-to, is go to my agent and talk to it.
Well, and for you, every time you open a new chat with that agent, it's going to count as a new agent chat, right?
Right. Yeah. 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 So that's but workflows, the automatic stuff is happening less. The agentic, like the interface with it and do consults.
Oh yeah, look at the next bubble there. Chat engagements is 10,000 plus,
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
So
So that means
people,
a lot of people are going in and just new chat window, talking with whatever model they want
right.
without some kind of predefined um, prompt or agent or anything in there.
Right. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah. So like 90% of it is or 10x what the agents are doing is just general chat and it does.
And it's going to be company default
Mhm.
or platform default.
Right. So what we did in ours is we switched to what Jordan was saying. Like here's the default one, Claude Haiku, and it's
But
recommended, but it's the
that's
one.
actually not the one that was default. It was
It was, yeah, they changed
Sonnet
it.
4.6.
You're right, yeah, and it was a more expensive model. Let me actually
I
click.
think Haiku is also a premium, but
No,
oh no, it's not.
put it
It's
in
not.
standard.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, which is good. Yeah, so it's Claude Sonnet down here, which is a premium. Use more credits right there. So,
Yeah.
um, so we changed it to Gemini 5.4 Mini, which is more standard. I mean, if you go to ChatGPT, that's kind of what you're hitting, and so is one of their GPT models right there. And so we chose that as the default. It uses less credits, which is helpful because when you get again up here and you see this. Let me go back to the 90-day. It's like, okay, well, yeah, no wonder the credits are increasing.
Yeah.
So nothing wrong with credits increasing. It's just we're trying to think through how do we.
Yeah. No, credit usage increasing is a good thing.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
means people are using it,
right, yeah, and it's
assuming
now
that it's not a setting that's doing it.
right, yeah. That's the thing is like you have to think through it in a bit of a nuanced way around how am I designing the system so it works best for the organization and gives a good experience at the same time.
Right.
Yeah.
I do know that they are working on another feature which is auto LLM, where even if you are in the middle of a premium model,
Oh,
when you ask your question or your interact, I think it's just for chatting with an LLM. If what you ask it doesn't require the premium features, it will auto select a lower model to save you some credits.
oh, okay,
That's the intention. It's not out yet.
okay.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So
Can I?
when go ahead.
Well, no, no, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was to say when they get that out, this kind of spike should not be at least as impactful
Right.
when a new premium model is released.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I was.
Also, manually setting a company default will prevent that as well.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a thing with Perplexity that it reminded me of that because that's what I use outside of here, and it's helpful because it gives me like what we're doing with this tool, but on a just general market basis of like what's the experience for a normal user who's not in a company, the company didn't buy it. Like, what is that experience like, and what's the differences there? They're as close to a 1-to-1 in terms of like product set that I could find. But it has a one deal that's like a age. I forgot what it called. It's a model council or something where you send it a prompt and it'll like decide what model's best, and or have several of them like look at it the prompt together and go, oh well, I'm the best one for this, and then they send it
Yeah.
to them. And that's an interesting way to do it. It sounds like they're doing something similar with this, but it's more like, well, you don't need all this stuff for it, so let's just give you a version that's better for your budget.
Right.
Yeah, yeah, that's great. Awesome. Thanks for the chat today, Jordan, on
Yeah,
this.
for sure.
Yeah, I think we'll figure out how to share this out because I think it's helpful for people to start understanding how tokens and credits work. It's one of the like fundamental parts of AI that's like a weird mystery that people don't understand without unfortunately being in the weeds, and you don't really want to be in the weeds. That's part of why we're building this tool is that it's exhausting to try to keep up with the news cycle on this stuff, and so just trying to make it simple for people.
Yep. Yeah, we've got a great partner with Hats doing that too. So
Yeah, awesome. Thanks, man.
appreciate it.
All right, and I'll stop recording.